Yamashita treasure cross markers, indicating distances, part 2. This is the second part of the previous video, which was all about the meaning of a cross sign or marker. I highly suggest that, before you continue watching this video, you should at least watch the first part. In this video, we are going to cover cross signs or markers that are giving directions and distances to the location of the hidden treasure deposit. There are actually several of them, but we are only going to cover those that are commonly encountered around. Some of these signs which I added are also commonly asked by some amateur treasure hunters, who found it on their actual sites. So let's start right away with the first cross sign as shown here in this illustration. We can see that at the longest line or pointer of the cross sign, it has an additional symbol composed of 4 small lines. We have already covered in part 1, that the longest line of the cross sign is its main pointer. Going back, there are 3 vertical lines that are slightly tilted on the right side, and 1 horizontal line underneath them. This 1 horizontal line underneath them is what confirms that these lines are referring to a far specific distance. This added symbol means that starting from the cross sign towards the hidden location of the treasure deposit is composed of 40 feet distance. In this next illustration, this is another cross sign with an additional symbol, pertaining to a 40 feet distance between the cross marker and the treasure deposit. Unlike the previous sign, this one has 3 lines. You will notice that the first 2 lines are shorter than the third line. It's because the third line confirms that these lines refer to specific far distance, which is 40 feet. How about this cross sign? Can you guess the distance being referred by the added symbol? If you guessed it as 30 feet, then you are correct. It is actually pretty much similar to the first cross sign that we covered. The only difference is that it only consists of 3 lines instead of 4. And again, one of the lines is on top of the other 2 lines, which specify that they are referring to distance. Here is another version of a cross sign referring to a 30 feet distance. This time, it has only 2 vertical lines. However, one of the lines is longer than the other, which indicated that this added symbol refers to distance. As for the 20 feet distance, the cross sign simply consists of 2 lines. These 2 lines can be horizontally or vertically aligned to the cross sign or marker. How about when there is only 1 line at the tip of the cross sign? If there is only 1 line added on the cross sign as shown on this illustration, then it refers to a 10 feet distance. This is the type of cross sign that I have encountered before, pertaining to a far distance of 60 feet. As you can see in this illustration, the added symbol consists of an arrowhead, which is pointing towards the same direction indicated by the cross sign, or marker. Since there are 2 pointers, it is understood that it is pointing to a certain far distance. The small line attached to the upper left end of the arrowhead marks the starting point. The 2 small lines on its right side is what represents the 60 feet distance. One line is composed of 30 feet. Since there are 2 of them, it is 60 feet. As for this cross sign, as you can see, it indicates a total of 150 feet distance. No, I have not yet encountered this type of sign or marker, but according to one of my fellow treasure hunters, they already encountered this one before. What about this one? The cross has a dot on its upper right corner. We have already covered in the previous videos that when it comes to the dots or holes, they commonly represent the hidden treasure deposit. So on this sign, the treasure deposit is hidden at the upper right portion of the site. So what is the distance between the cross sign and the deposited item? As you can see in this illustration, the distance can be from 5 to 10 feet. Some of you might ask, how can you determine the exact line of direction? Let's have an illustration. This is what you are going to do. Try to connect the dot or hole into the center of the cross, and then extend it as a line. This is indicated by the red line here in our illustration. But in actual operation, you can use a long straight stick or wire. Another question that you might ask with regards to this sign is that, why 5 to 10 feet distance? The answer actually depends on the size of the object, where the sign or marker has been engraved. Let's say for example, that this sign has been engraved on the large old rock. Since it is a large rock, then you can assume the 10 feet distance. On the other hand, if the rock isn't too huge, then a 5 feet distance is assumed. In the next video or part 3, we are going to cover cross signs or markers that are directly pertaining to a certain location, which is most likely where the treasure deposit is hidden. However, these types of cross signs or markers do not indicate certain specific directions or distances. Did you enjoy watching my video? If yes, and if you are new to my channel, then you may want to subscribe, like this video, and hit the small notification bell icon. By subscribing and hitting the bell icon, you will receive alerts or notifications about my new published videos. If you want a reading material about treasure hunting, then you may want to visit my blogging website at treasurehunt.club. Thank you very much for watching, and happy treasure hunting.